Sources said fees and charges for public hospital services are going up in a major overhaul, but there will be a safety net annual cap for patients. Billiard and tennis remain as Tier A sports in the city, and direct subsidies for elite athletes will be increased by 8.3%. And South Korea's top court dismisses the impeachment of Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, reinstating him as the country's acting president. Good evening. You're now watching Cable News. I'm Cheryl Yun. The government is set to announce a major overhaul of public medical fees tomorrow, potentially raising charges by a large sum. Sources said there might be a safety net cap to shield vulnerable groups from excessive costs. Quentin Yang reports.
Under the plan changes, services like MRI and CT scans, previously free, will likely transition to per-use fees, while emergency care, specialist outpatient visits, and non-urgent imaging face itemized billing adjustments. The details will be announced by Health Secretary Lo Chung-mao tomorrow. Executive Councillor Lam Chin-choi hinted today that a safety net mechanism will cap annual out-of-pocket expenses for patients, with those exceeding the threshold eligible for financial relief after case-by-case assessments by the hospital authority. Lam stressed the reforms aim to redirect resources to those most in need. The cap isn't a compromise, it's about precision, he said, addressing concerns over rising costs for chronic disease patients. While the exact cap figure remains undisclosed, Lam confirmed it will apply universally, regardless of income. The move comes as public hospitals grapple with unsustainable subsidies. Emergency visits cost taxpayers $2,000 per case, while specialist tests exceed $20,000 per case. Though overall subsidies will stay at 90%, fees for non-critical services will rise incrementally every 2 years for over 5 years, a bit to deter overuse and rebalance the public-private healthcare divide. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
The Department of Health has launched a new consultation service to streamline applications under its expanded 1+ drug approval mechanism, aiming to accelerate the registration of innovative medicines and reduce costs for patients. Quentin Yang again has the story.
The mechanism, expanded last November to cover all new drugs, allows manufacturers to submit approval evidence from one recognized regulator alongside local clinical data and expert validation, eliminating duplicate trials and speeding up approvals. By mid-March, the department has received 400 inquiries from over 110 pharmaceutical companies, prompting it to roll out targeted support, including a seminar starting next Monday and workshops planned for June. Assistant Director of Health Frank Chang explained the consultations aim to clarify requirements for international firms unfamiliar with local protocols. Since its launch November 2023, the policy has approved 11 new drugs, including treatments for metastatic colorectal cancer and rare blood disorders, with 5 already added to the hospital authority drug formulary, significantly lowering patient expenses. HHE pharmacist William Train noted the system has spurred price competition by enabling faster entry for both mainland and global drug makers. Previously, monopolies under patent protection kept prices high. Now multiple suppliers drive costs down, he said. The department plans one-on-one meetings with applicants from September to December to minimize delays, while pushing the HA to expedite formulary inclusions. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
Exchanges of misprinted Coldplay concert tickets started today in both Hong Kong and the mainland. While some fans expressed confusion over the exchange process, Tourism Chief Rosanna Law urged City Line to explain the mistake and apologize. Evelyn Bai reports.
In one of the ticket exchange booths in Tsim Sha Tsui, ticket holders are required to return the invalid tickets to the courier staff before they retrieve new ones from the ticket dispensing machines. This man from Shenzhen said he acknowledged that many fans have encountered difficulties with the exchange process, as some of the tickets are from other platforms or bought from other consumers. To be honest, I think the printing errors do not affect much because the ticket number and entry time are correct, so fans can still enter the venue, he added. Ticket holders said the world's VIP florists were wrongly printed, which the category was supposedly priced at $2,799, including one standing ticket and other purse. CityLine previously announced that a number of $1,399 standing tickets were voided due to printing discrepancies, prompting ticket holders to exchange their tickets at 7 spots in the SAR at least one day before the concert, causing dissatisfaction among mainland audiences. The ticket platform later added 2 exchange locations in Shenzhen and Guangzhou, as well as extending the exchange period until the commencement of the shows at Kai Tak Stadium next month. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
The Sports Commission announced that billiard and tennis will continue to stay at the Tier A elite sports in the coming 2 years, while elite athletes will receive more subsidies. Evelyn Bai tells us more.
After a review of the Elite Vote Support Scheme, the Sports Commission has decided to maintain the 2 sports Tier A ranking, despite under threat of being downgraded. Neither sport have met the current criteria to maintain their Tier A rankings, which is to be included in at least 3 editions in the past 4 and the upcoming 2 editions of the Olympic Games or Asian Games. However, the committee unanimously believes that flexible measures need to be implemented for the development of elite sports and the unique characteristics of certain sports.
For tennis, they don't have a world champion tournament as such. So we have decided to take into account outcome in Grand Slam events and also the Davis Cup or Billie Jean King Cup outcome. So it is an adjustment that is fitting for tennis, in which we are also making good performances recently.
In addition, in order to provide more financial support to local athletes, direct funding for elite athletes will be increased by 8.3%, taking effect on April 1st. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
The Civil Aviation Department prohibits passengers on board to use power banks or store them in the overhead compartments. Concerned about recent safety incidents suspected to have been caused by passengers carrying and using lithium battery power banks on aircraft, CAD issued new notice to update regulations with a view to further enhancing aviation safety. Starting from April 7th, local airlines should not allow their passengers to use power banks to charge other portable electronic devices and/or recharge power banks during flight. Stowage of power banks in the overhead compartments is also prohibited with the same effective date. South Korea's Constitutional Court dismissed the impeachment of Prime Minister Han Duck-soo and restored his powers, as the country is still waiting for the same court to decide whether it will impeach suspended President Yoon Suk-yeol. Quinton Yang reports.
After the Constitutional Court overturned the impeachment this morning, Han returned to his government office, as he was also reinstated to the role of acting president.
우리 모든 국민들은
Han said the court had made a wise decision, and he will tend to the most urgent matters. Addressing the nation, Han pledged to safeguard the national interest, in particular in the trade war with the United States. He also asked for bipartisan support so the country can overcome the current crisis and move forward and rise upward. The ruling was the latest twist in a political saga that started when President Yoon declared martial law last December. Han took over as acting leader after Yoon was impeached, but Han himself was later removed from power as well. The court's justices ruled 7-1 to strike down Han's impeachment. 5 justices agreed that the impeachment motion against Han was valid, but there were not enough grounds to impeach him as he did not violate the Constitution or South Korean law concerning the martial law announcement or potential insurrection. 2 justices voted to reject the impeachment motion entirely, as 2/3 of lawmakers in parliament did not pass it. Meanwhile, the top court's ruling on Yoon's impeachment is expected within days. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
Tens of thousands of protesters took to streets across Turkey for the 5th day as the main rival to the country's president Recep Tayyip Erdogan was formally arrested and charged with corruption. Protesters clashed with police during a rally outside Istanbul's City Hall Sunday night. The demonstrators were seen with flares as police attempted to disperse them with pepper spray and tear gas. While protesters in the capital Ankara were met with water cannons. Sunday night saw a ramping up of the worst unrest the country has seen in more than a decade after Ekrem İmamoğlu, the mayor of Istanbul, was arrested earlier and formally charged with corruption and detained yesterday, pending trial. As 15 million people streamed into polling stations nationwide on the same day to either elect or endorse İmamoğlu as the Republican People's Party's 2028 presidential nominee. European leaders criticized the actions against İmamoğlu as politicized and undemocratic. JD Logistics, the supply chain arm of mainland's e-commerce giant JD.com, has opened a new automated logistics center in Hong Kong to further expand in the city and meet the growing demand for logistics services in the region. Quentin Yang has more details.
The Chai Wan hub, spanning over 10,000 square feet, equipped with AI-powered sorting systems, is expected to triple processing speeds while reducing operational costs. A critical move as JD Logistics reported a 24-fold surge in Hong Kong daily deliveries and a 14-fold growth in Macau last year. The expansion came amid double-digit revenue growth for the company's express business, driven by Hong Kong's role as a gateway for Greater Bay Area trade. Our edge is our competitive pricing, said Ken Yuan, general manager of JD.com Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan markets. To lock in loyalty, the company has rolled out appliance subsidies like 1-year free shipping and price match guarantees. It has also established self-pickup stations at key border points like Futian to streamline cross-border orders. Invest Hong Kong, which facilitates the project, emphasized Hong Kong's strong purchasing power and its importance as a key node in the Greater Bay Area as key draws. It also highlighted JD's creation of 450-plus local jobs since 2024, with more hiring planned, as evidence of the sector's economic multiplier effect. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the markets. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 215 points. Top 10 active stocks, Tencent was up $1.50, Xiaomi was up $2.30. Meituan was down $1.90, BYD was up $11.80. On to the weather now. Visibility relatively low in some areas in the morning and at night tomorrow. The minimum temperature in the morning will be about 20 degrees. Dry and hot during the day with a maximum temperature around 28 degrees in the urban areas and a couple of degrees higher in the new territories. And that's our news tonight. I'm Cheryl Yun. Thanks for watching and good night.